Hi guys, I'm back with album number 11 for you. This is the year 2015, but it's actually only half of 2015. I've ended up making a lot more layouts in 2015, so I've had to split it into half of it in album 1, half of it in album 2. So my labels on the side, I've obviously got 2015, album 11, and this is from January to August, and obviously the next one says the next bit. The reason this is so fat, well, one of the reasons is obviously I'm doing my scrapbooking more now. There are more things out, I've got back into doing it, and I'm just really into scrapbooking. So yeah, I'm not impressed with having to split into 2 albums, but I think it's the way it's going to have to, it's going to go from now on. Yeah, so this is the first half of 2015. So this is a photo shoot that Shani and I done. Shani took some photos of me, and then also on the same day I took some photos of Shani. We just went for a walk up on a local sort of farm, which is sort of 5 minutes from my house, and just played with the cameras. We were getting some profile pictures for our websites, and actually if you go on my website, I think it's this one I use as my profile picture. So yeah, we just had a day out with the cameras, or an afternoon walk, and it was quite nice. And then we've got this little bit here is Shani's 23rd birthday meal. I didn't have the camera on this day, we just had our phones, but we went out as a family and also some friends as well, down to an Indian restaurant down Brighton Marina, so not far from us. And so that was sort of all the only photo we had was that, and just one I'd snapped of the food. So I just sort of made something of it, but it's hardly the best spread. This was a day out at Gaston Farm, which is a farm that's not too far from us, about an hour's drive from us. So we took out the kids obviously, and this was early in the spring. It was at the end of March. So the kids are obviously stroking all the sheep, holding the little lamb, that sort of thing. We got to go on a tractor ride, and my nephew Daniel was thrilled because he got to sit in the front of the tractor, so he was really impressed with that. So yeah, just using some Easter papers. I think these were just Paper Mania papers, like a pad that I had that I used. We've got an Easter egg hunt. Again, just 6x6 pad of sort of, again, I think they were only Paper Mania or something like that papers. And this is the kids having their Easter egg hunt and finding all the Easter eggs in my brother's garden. Using up some old thickers, which were Doodlebug thickers. Or stickers I should say, not actually thickers. This is Sophie's birthday. We had a day shopping in, where did we go? Bluewater. Is it Bluewater Shopping Centre? No, Westfield Shopping Centre. So Shani and Sophie, we just sat down for lunch, and this was her birthday sort of day out, buying some clothes and whatnot. And this picture I took of her, Sophie sitting in her bed at night playing on her laptop. I was basically just playing with the camera. I wanted to get one of these shots where you just don't use any light, only the light that is glowing from the laptop screen. So I was adjusting the settings and just sort of, sussing out how to do that really. And I was really pleased with how it came out. And I sort of called it Sophie in her natural habitat, because basically this is where she spends all of her time. She's 14 years old here, and all she wanted to do was lay in bed and play on her laptop. My niece Rosa, this was very much just a snapshot. I think Sophie literally took this picture, picked up my camera and took this picture of Rosa when we were all out one day. And it came out beautiful. I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera, but the clarity is lovely. She looks absolutely beautiful. So I just made this layout. I was being a little bit grungy and inky and doing some ink splatters and drawing these circles quite roughly. Just being a bit creative with the layout, but I love the photo. This is the same day out. We're actually at Tilgate Park. This is Rosa and Austin. Austin had not long been walking, so Rosa was holding his hand and helping him sort of walk down the field in front of us. So yeah, layout of that. Some pictures I took of the girls on the same day. They posed on these tree stumps that had just been chopped down. So they just sat there, and I grabbed some pictures of them. And I like the fact that I turned them all black and white, and just used these very simple sort of black and white and silver stickers on there. This was a day at Sheffield Park Gardens. The beautiful magnolias coming out into bloom. We've been here before. I think you would have seen this place in my albums before. We quite often go there. It's not far from our house, and it's a National Trust property, and we've got National Trust passes. So it's a nice place to go and visit, all different seasons, all different times of the year. My brother, my nephew Daniel, my brother and sister-in-law Dean and Gloria. I'm sure you know who the people are by now. I tell you their names every time, but I'm sure you figured out who's who. It was Daniel's Holy Communion. So I decorated all the table, made these cakes for him, made this piñata, and done all the decorations for his little party afterwards. But yeah, Shani was there being photographer, and she got these lovely photos of them. Very simple, just stars and wood veneer stars. This was the kids, Daniel and Sophie. They are in these water zorb or water balls. It's called water zorbing, whatever it is. We were at a garden show at Ardingly, and obviously you could pay to go on this attraction, on this ride, and the kids done it, and it was hilarious watching them. We would just get loads of pictures of them trying to balance and stand up in these balls as they float along the water. Yeah, really, really good fun. And I just printed out little photos because there were lots of little ones, but no one big amazing photo. And I simply put them down in a grid style and stitched in between. And that's it, and just stickers and a hand cut title that I inked to match the background piece of paper. Excuse me. This is Alan and I on another cruise. This time we went on Thompson Spirit, and we went over to Turkey and around that area. So again, same as my last sort of cruise layout, lots of boat themed things, lots of maps, the tickets, our room keys, the picture of the ship that we're on, the cruise ship that we're on. We went to Beirut, Larnaca in Cyprus. This was us dressed up for a captain's dinner. We actually got to sit next to the captain, so Alan had to look very smart. Israel. Beautiful, beautiful place, Israel. Not somewhere we would have thought to visit. It was only because this cruise, to be honest with you, this cruise came up quite cheap, and we were like, oh, let's just do it, it'd be fun. And we done it for a week, and it was absolutely amazing. We visited this Baha'i Gardens, and just absolutely stunning, like these lovely, lovely gardens. This is, you literally walk from the port here, walk up this road, and you get to these gardens. And we always, whenever we're away, just me and Alan, we just basically just wander around. Which is why these sort of cruises suit us, because you're just spending the day somewhere, wandering around, seeing the sights, trying the food, and that's about it really. Again, we're in Haifa in Israel this day, just walking around, eating, drinking, and having a bit of fun. We did, while we were on board the cruise ship, we had some professional photos done with the photographer on board. I wasn't sure about doing this because I like taking photos, but I don't like being, that side of the camera. So we were really unsure about doing it, but we got talking to the photographer. He was a lovely guy, and he ended up convincing us to have this photo shoot done, obviously. And to be fair, I'm glad that we done it. There's a few photos I'm going to show you now. They're a bit soppy and a bit lovey-dovey, but I'm glad that we've got them, because we don't very often have photos of me and Alan together, not proper ones other than selfies. So yeah, the next few pages are just working with those photos that we had done and just doing layouts, obviously just showcasing the photo. But yeah, look how sucky uppy this is. Ugh. But I quite like this one. And I die cut the word love and then mounted the paper behind. I think this was just a 6x6 pad. Us walking along holding hands, so romantic. And then a photo of me, or a layout of me, which I wouldn't do. I think this was a challenge on Facebook to do something about yourself. So I done this layout, or this photo of me. This paper here, I'm not sure if you can see it, it's got cameras embossed on it. And then here I've just cut out all words that, about what I am. So daughter, organised, creative, amazing, unique, happy. Again, very cheesy, but it's a fun layout, and it's a picture of me on there. And then one I done of Alan. And that's those photos. This was a layout of our cat, Jasmine. Unfortunately, she had to be put down in 2015. It was actually while we were away on the cruise, she got really, really poorly. When we came back, we had to deal with going up to the vets and seeing her. She'd been in the vets for a few days. The cat sitter had taken her up there, and anyway, long story short, we ended up having to have her put down. But she was absolutely gorgeous cat. She's here, you can see her here with her daughter. We bred her while we had her, and we still have her daughter. That's Amira, a cat that you see on my vlogs now. But Jasmine was lovely. She really was my princess. So just some odd photos. She used to lay in these weird positions, sitting on top of the car, laying upside down, and these silly things. So I just made a layout about her. And then there's another niece being born, my brother and sister-in-law's third baby, so baby Lila. So I was at the hospital, I'd done the hospital run with them. I didn't get to deliver Lila, but I was there from, you know, about 20 seconds after she was born. I was there. I was outside waiting with camera, and I'd done the car run up to the hospital, so I got these photos. And yeah, obviously the lighting in the hospital is always awful for taking photos, so I turned them black and white and just made the most of them. But yeah, really glad I've got these. She was such a hairy little baby. Okay, a day out fruit picking, strawberry picking and raspberry picking. So this is my dad, mum, Sophie, Shani, me, and the little kids as well, all just at the local fruit farm picking some raspberries and strawberries. These are Project Life cards that I've used, and then Heidi Swap buzzwords stickers on there. And I took these photos on the same day as well. We got Austin, Rosa and Sophie picking cabbages, so I had to call it Cabbage Patch Kids, and just done a layout about that. And I used a creamy colour background paper, which I don't normally do, but it actually, I quite like it. It kind of suits the Cabbage Patch Kid feel. And this is a photo shoot with the girls, both Shani and Sophie. Again, for no real reason, we just took the camera out, went on a walk for a nice day, took some photos. So I've started just, you know, all my layouts don't have to be a story or a holiday. I like just doing pretty photos as well. So I like this picture of Sophie and therefore decorated it, you know. Lovely, lovely embellishments. And same for this one. This was a bit grungy. I think this was a challenge again online. I started playing along with a few challenges recently, and this was you had to use ink mist or something, you know, in this sort of layout. So I done that. This one of the two girls. I really like this layout. Two separate photos, but just put together. And cut out all these hexagonal shapes out of dies and just stuck them up the page. Photos on top, lovely thickers. I mean, I'm talking you through these album shares, but if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you would have seen these anyway, because these are very recent ones, so obviously they've been shared very, very recently. Another one with a happy banner and layers of pretty. This one of Sophie, inspired by the very talented Jen Shell. If you watch her YouTube channel, she done this layout where she just put her Project Life cards across the page diagonally and a big picture here. But when I took this picture of Sophie, automatically this layout came to mind, just the way it was, the way it balances out, her arms coming out across the page. I just thought it would work perfectly, so I done that. These aren't actually Project Life cards there, it's a 6x6 pad that I cut down and then just added Heidi Swap embellishments and stickers. And this one where I got a little bit grungy or inky again and just rubbed over. If you saw my video not so long ago, I done this with some green ink on another layout I done, but just rubbed over ink pads just to get some colour on the background, added some ink splatters, a big Heidi Swap word, happiness. I like using these pre-made titles. I think it's really nice because it makes you make a layout about, you know, I made this layout work for this title. These leaves are all the Stampin' Up! Leaf set, which again I distressed and then stamped and die cut. Yeah, I really like that one actually. Another pretty one, just the same photo shoot, just pretty layouts. Using, I can't think what this is, I think My Mind's Eye, could be My Mind's Eye Knob Hill, I think it could be called, this collection, but a very, very pretty collection. And then this is a day out. We went out with Mum, Shani, Sophie, the kids, and obviously me. We went to just a local park attraction thing, and we were walking back to the car at this stage, and I just snapped a picture of them just swinging and playing as they were walking back to the car. And then the last one is Alan and I went to see Michael McIntyre in Brighton at the Brighton Centre. Yeah, so I just made a layout of that using the Simple Stories Say Cheese collection, some thickers, told the story of it. And that's it, very, very simple. So that's halfway through 2015. As I say, I've got another album for 2015. And I am a bit annoyed that I had to spread into 2 albums. Really, I wanted 1 album per year and that was it. But it was impossible. And I know that 2016 is going to be the same, to be honest, because we're only halfway through the year and I've already filled 1 album. So I know that's going to be a 2 album year as well. But anyway, I'll be back very shortly with the other half of 2015 for you.